Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jasodanandana Vraja Janarandana. Jasodanandana Vraja Janarandana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha.
So he was born in France in 1976. In March 1971, so he started his journey from France to India in search of Indian civilization to know about Indian temples. And he met this Hare Krishna Maharaj in 1972 in Hyderabad. And he was so much convinced when he met the devotees. The next day, sir, he joined the family. In April 1972, he joined his farm. Then in November 1972, he was initiated by joining the Commission of Hyderabad in Nalan. And later he went to Hyderabad for global instructions to start leading the. So we took that instruction as a life and soul. And since then, past 43 years, Lord is managing Hyderabad TV. And you see Lord every day morning program, past 49 years, Lord is morning program. And every day, she was out on class. Who are these classes? Lord is very, very important. Lord is known for its humility. Whenever we are doing himself comes to our room or office. Today also we want to thank himself for his one day when we saw Rohit his books, so they go, no, I am carrying gold in this place. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Skanda, 3rd chapter, sloka number 55. Salilahi, Suchibihi, Malyahi, Vanyahi, Mula, Palaadibihi, Shasta, Ankura, Ansukahi, Cha, Archet, Tulasya, Priyaya, Prabhum. Salilayi, Suchibir, Malyayi, Vanyair, Mula, Palaadibihi, Sastankuram Sukais Charchet Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum Salilai Suchibir Malayi
Vanyairmulaparadibhi Sastam Kuram Sukhaistarchet Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum Salilai Suchibir Malyahir Vanyairmulaparadibhi Sastam Kuram Sukhaistarchet Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum. Mataji's Salilayi, by use of water, Suchibihi, being purified, Malyahi, by garlands, Vanyahi, of forest flowers, Mula, roots, Palaadibihi, by different kinds of vegetables and fruits, Shasta, the newly grown grass, Ankura, buds, and Sukhahi, by the skin of trees, such as the Burja, Cha, and Archet, should worship Tulasya, by the Tulsi leaves, Priyaya, which are very dear to the Lord, Prabhum, the Lord. Translation: one should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, which are available in the forest, or by collecting newly grown grasses, small buds of flowers, or even the skins of trees, and if possible, by offering tulasi leaves, which are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please repeat. One should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, which are available in the forests, or by collecting newly grown grasses, small buds of flowers, or even the skins of trees, and if possible, by offering tulasi leaves, which are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It is specifically mentioned herein that tulasi leaves are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and devotees should take particular care to have tulasi leaves in every temple and center of worship. In the Western countries, while engaged in propagating the Krishna consciousness movement, we were brought great unhappiness because we could not find the tulasi leaves. We are very much obliged, therefore, to our disciple, Srimati Govinda Dasi, because she has taken much care to grow tulasi plants from seeds, and she has been successful by the grace of Krishna. Now tulasi plants are growing in almost every center of our movement. Tulasi leaves are very important in the method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the word Salilahi means by the water. Of course, Dhruva Maharaj was worshipping on the bank of the Yamuna. The Yamuna and the Ganges are sacred, and sometimes devotees in India insist that the deity must be worshipped with water of the Ganges or Yamuna. But here we understand Desakala to mean according to time and country. In the Western countries, there is no river Yamuna or Ganges. Water from such sacred rivers is not available. Does this mean that the Archa worship should, for that reason, be stopped? No. Salilayi refers to any water, whatever is available, but it must be very clear and collected purely. That water can be used. The other paraphernalia, such as flower garlands, fruits and vegetables, should be collected according to the country and according to their availability. Tulasi leaves are very important for satisfying the Lord. So as far as possible, an arrangement should be made for growing Tulasi leaves. Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship the Lord with the fruits and flowers available in the forest. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna frankly says that he accepts vegetables, fruits, flowers, etc. One should not offer Lord Vasudeva anything other than what is prescribed herein by the great authority Narada Muni. One cannot offer to the deity according to one's whims. Since these fruits and vegetables are available anywhere in the universe, we should observe this small point very attentively. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmeditam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakamritanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji, for these few words. I would like to mention a little bit regarding how the devotees earlier, not devotees, but those who were looking for spiritual life, not even devotees, but having little interest in Indian philosophy, they were accepted immediately in ISKCON with a very great enthusiasm, and Tamal Krishna Goswami in this way enrolled many of these young boys in America and whenever he used to go in India and other places. He was very keen to take these young boys. When he asked me, of course, different questions, but one of the questions was so what is your next program? So I told him my program, now I came from France to India, I want to stay in India for some time. Then my program is to continue my journey to Thailand, the other countries on the eastern side. Then he told me very clearly, now just try to understand, all your journeys are over. Just come with us. We have our temple here in Calcutta, so all your journey is over. So I took it as a good advice, and I took opportunity. So immediately then we give up the karmi dress, pant and shirt on the same day, and they are giving dhoti, kurta, kantimala, shaving, everything on the same day, and also seva. Immediately seva started on the very same day when I joined in Calcutta, going for life membership. I had no idea what is ISKCON. I never saw the books before, but of course I was not alone. I was with Madhavananda and Purnapragya. So I was carrying the briefcase and going from business to business. So it was quite easy at that time to join ISKCON. Now it is a little more difficult. So this sloka here also, Narada Muni is welcoming Dhruva Maharaj immediately. There is no training period for 1 year, come every Sunday, come to the temple, attend the class, then go back to your home, to your business, then we'll see afterwards. Immediately, Dhruva Maharaj was accepted, and Narada Muni gave him all the relevant instruction in order to achieve perfection. So there is no waiting period in this way. So here in this sloka, Narada Muni instructs Dhruva Maharaj to start the process of deity worship. Earlier, he also gave some other instructions how to meditate on the form of the Supreme Lord, who is so beautiful and attracts the entire creation by his beauty. And also, Narada Muni gave the mantra, Dwadasakshara mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That mantra in the Satya Yuga was the chief mantra for all the aspiring devotees and practitioners of Krishna consciousness. And the process of deity worship, even though deity worship is mostly in the Dwapara Yuga, where construction of temples started and very opulently the deity became worshipped. But even in Satya Yuga, we see here that Narada Muni is also instructing Dhruva Maharaj to start deity worship. So this is a very important instruction according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami. There are 5 main instructions by which we can develop very quickly Krishna consciousness. And this is one of them. Worship of the deities. Others are chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The third one is associating with the devotees of the Lord. Number 4 is to remain in a holy place such as Mathura, Vrindavan, Mayapur. And number 5 is to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So these instructions are carried out in ISKCON by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, who gave us the same instructions. He also took the disciples to Vrindavan and Mayapur. He initiated them in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He formed ISKCON, which is a society of devotees, Satsanga. And then Srimad Bhagavatam class is daily morning function in every temple, like this. So all these 5 most important processes of devotional service are mentioned here by Narada Muni. So we can just meditate and follow strictly the instruction given by Narada Muni, which has come down to us in the disciplic succession, and Srila Prabhupada and his successors are so carrying. There is no question of changing anything there. This will remain for the next 10,000 years at least. Here, one should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, and so on. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam asnami prayatatmana. So, the same offerings are mentioned by Lord Krishna in this sloka, but adding one very important item, which is bhakti. Lord Krishna will accept these items if it is offered with love and devotion. Otherwise, he may not accept. So these items are easily available: water, fruits, flowers, and leaves. But what is more difficult is to offer with love and devotion. So that is the main item which we should never forget. It's not that a routine process. Now 12 o'clock, okay, close the doors and immediately mechanically offer something on the plate to Lord Krishna. But everything should be cooked, prepared, and put on the plate and offered with love and devotion. Therefore, only those who are initiated into the Brahminical order, because they are keeping a purity of mind and body, they can do this process of deity worship. Those who are beginners may not be clean enough in their mind and body to do the deity worship. Here I remember just some memories of Hyderabad, Srila Prabhupada in Hyderabad, that in 1973, at that time, we were only a few brahmacharis, and there was no good cook for cooking for the disciples. Of course, for the deities, it was separate cooking by the head pujari, but for the other disciples, there was nobody who could take this cooking assignment properly. So the temple president had engaged one Marwari Brahmin from local Hyderabad, and he was not smoking, apparently, maybe chewing pan from time to time, but otherwise he was quite all right. He was cooking well also. But when Prabhupada came here to Hyderabad at that time, then Prabhupada inquired about the cooking, and so the temple president told him, yes, Prabhupada, yes, we have hired. We are one Marwari Brahmin, he is doing the cooking for us. And Prabhupada was very upset, very upset. No question of hiring anybody. You must do the cooking. Some initiated disciple should do the cooking. So this is one aspect very important, that unless one is a proper disciple, he will not be able to cook with a proper attitude and mental attitude, proper devotion and love. This has to be done with this attitude. Otherwise, Krishna will not accept. Then where is the question of eating prasadam, if it is not accepted by Lord Krishna? Apparently, from a material viewpoint, it may be all right. He may be cooking all right. But if it is done with not with love and devotion, just because he may expect I'm cooking, I'm getting my salary at the end of the month, and therefore I'm engaged in this duty. And that is not the attitude. Similarly, at the farm also, we were also engaging some outsiders, but Prabhupada said, no, only disciples should cook. Only disciples properly initiated in this way. Because of the main ingredient, which is love and devotion, that should be respected at all times. So in this way here, the importance in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the importance of offering tulasi. We see Lord Krishna and we meditate on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. We can see a lotus tulasi leaf at the feet of Lord Krishna. Always, the tulasi is always staying at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And when we offer food or bhoga to Lord Krishna, for every preparation, there must be one tulasi leaf, every preparation. Otherwise, the Lord will not accept. So there's some very important aspect of tulasi is mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada, that it is very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one may wonder, why is Krishna so much attached to tulasi plant, tulasi leaves? There are so many trees and so many plants, thousands or millions of different plants are there, trees. Why should only tulasi? There is a story, I think you may have heard, that Tulasi or Brinda Devi, we remember Vrindavan. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is sent to Mathura, which is just adjacent to Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, Mathura, this is actually the same holy place. And Vrindavan means the forest of Tulasi. That belongs to Brinda Devi. So there is no difference, Brinda Devi and Tulasi. How is it? Brinda Devi is a personality and the Tulasi is a plant. So where is the connection there? So that is very interesting. I do not know all the details, but what I can remember, there was some so-called dispute and argument between Brinda Devi is the assistant, very intimate, confidential assistant of Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan. She is actually under Purnamasi. Purnamasi is the head of the Sarupa Sakti, the Aladini Sakti, the internal energy of the Lord, which is enacting all the leelas of the Lord, especially in Vrindavan, Purnamasi making arrangement for the leelas to take place. And Brinda Devi, she is the direct assistant. For anything, she always takes advice from Purnamasi in order to arrange for meetings between Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. So all the leelas are going on in Vrindavan with this team, the team of pure devotees, eternal associates of the Lord, who are making all these arrangements so that the leelas become very palatable for everyone. So Brinda Devi plays a very important role there in Vrindavan. She is one of the main assistants of Lord Krishna, very dear to Lord Krishna, very dear to Srimati Radharani. And once upon a time, for some reason, there was some argument, and Srimati Brinda Devi gave a so-called curse, sapam, to Lord Krishna, that you stay on Earth planet as a stone, And similarly, reciprocally, Lord Krishna gave a so-called sapam to Tulasi, to Vrinda Devi, that you remain in this earth planet as a plant, Tulasi plant. So in this way, the Leela is going on. There's a Prakat Leela, Aprakat Leela. So Aprakat Leela is a Vrinda Devi, Srimati Radharani, the eternal Leela is going on, sometimes exhibited on the earth planets once in a day of Brahma, very rarely. And most of the time then, Vrinda Devi renders service to Lord Krishna as a plant, according to this development of Leela in the material world. So, actually also, Tulasi Devi is also embodied in this Gandaki Nadi, which is running in Nepal, where all the Saligram Silas are available. So this Leela is going on, and but the relationship between Lord Krishna, even as a Salagram Sila, and Srimati Sri Vrinda Devi, even as a Tulasi, the connection, the loving exchange and Leela is going on in a different manner. There are many examples how Tulasi Devi is so dear to Lord Krishna. I think you may have heard also another Leela going on in Dwarka, that is Tulabharam. This Tulabharam actually was started by Satyabhama. After getting this Parijata tree, Satyabhama became very, thought herself to be the best and the most loved of all the queens. So many queens are there, but because Lord Krishna took Satyabhama to Indraloka to get that Parijata tree, so Satyabhama became very confident that I am the most cherished queen of Krishna. There may be other queens, but I am the number one queen. So Narada Muni also happened to be there, just as usual. He is always there to give impetus to the Leela of Lord Krishna in so many ways. So Narada Muni took advantage of the situation, and he told Satyabhama that you think you are number one queen, but my opinion is different. I don't think so. I think that Rukmini is number one queen, most loved of Lord Krishna. Oh, how can you tell like this? How can you speak like this? I am number one. Why you are doubting about this? Who is Rukmini? No? And so Narada Muni suggested, okay, we'll do something. You install a scale, and you ask Lord Krishna to sit down on one of the scale, and then you bring all your property, all your jewels and ornaments, everything you bring, and you put on the other side of the scale. Then we'll see if your property, your importance, that means if you are so important, then the scale will come down and Lord Krishna will go up, and it will be sure. At that time we can understand that yes, you are the number one queen. So Satyabhama asked Lord Krishna, please kindly you sit down here, we'll have some Leela going on. So she brought all the property, very heavy gold ornaments, everything, including Shamantaka jewel, because she was the daughter of Satyajit. And Satyajit had given a Shamantaka to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna gave it to Satyabhama. So that was another asset in the hand of Satyabhama, and she kept it also on the scale. But the scale was up, Lord Krishna was down, and everything. So she asked her other maidservants and the servant, bring all your jewels, everything, bring everything. So the scale was piled up with all this, but still Lord Krishna was down. The other scale was up. So then what to do? So at that time Satyabhama asked from Narada Muni, so what to do now? I don't understand what's happening. Narada Muni then told her that you just call Rukmini, then we'll see, everything will be okay like that. How can I call Rukmini? No, I don't want to call Rukmini, no. I don't want to. No, you call Rukmini, then the problem will be solved, then they will have a clear understanding. So she went to the next palace and called Rukmini, please come, we'll have some function at home. Some program is going on. So Rukmini at that time brought some of the property, and including one tulasi leaf she was keeping in her hand. And when Rukmini came in front of the scale, then she put all her ornaments and other things. Still, Lord Krishna was up and the other scale was down. Then Rukmini then took the tulasi leaf and kept it on the scale. Immediately the scale came down and Lord Krishna went up. So that is the Tulabhara, which is very famous. And in South India, especially in the Madhva Sampradaya, they are celebrating this Tulabhara regularly. So we understand from this that all the properties of the queens, which are not ordinary properties, they're spiritual property, but still, in comparison to one tulasi leaf, all this is actually not important. It doesn't have the weight. Lord Krishna will not submit. He will not exchange his love. Of course, Krishna is loving everybody. All the queens are certainly loved by Lord Krishna. But here we can see the distinction that tulasi leaf is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. And that is Brinda Devi. She is the eternal consort. She is like a Manjari, very young, and she is doing great service to Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is very much attached to this Tulasi Manjari, more than to all the queens of Dwarka. So that was the lesson we can derive from this Leela. And many other examples can be given of the importance of Tulasi, just like Advaita Acharya. He engaged in worshipping Salagram Sila and with the Ganges water, Gangajal and Tulasi. And by this deity worship of Salagram Sila with a Tulasi leaf, Advaita Acharya expressed his desire that now, my dear Lord, you have to come. Only you can save the situation, which is so bad. There is no devotion at all. All the smartas are spoiling the entire religious life, and there is no Krishna Bhakti. So you have to come and establish Krishna Bhakti in this way. Advaita Acharya, Sadashiva himself, he requested the Lord to come, and that became the cause of the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Salagram Sila, Tulasi. Similarly, there is a Tulasi Vivaha. So at that time, Tulasi, Salagram Sila, there's some marriage ceremony being performed as part of the deity worship in some of the temples. So here in the purport, the importance of Tulasi is given by Srila Prabhupada, as Prabhupada says, that he was very disappointed that Tulasi is not available in the Western countries. So how to worship Lord Krishna without Tulasi? So that becomes a very big problem. And Srila Prabhupada was feeling this lack of the Tulasi. Lack of Tulasi, no Tulasi means how can there be any devotion? Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaya Kesava Satcha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyaya Namo Nama. Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi. Tulasi is one who is giving us devotion. She is the emblem of devotion. Without Tulasi, how can we worship Lord Krishna? Lord Krishna will not accept the worship. So that was a dilemma that Srila Prabhupada had to face while starting deity worship in the Western countries. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that his disciple, Srimati Govinda Dasi, she arranged for the growing Tulasi, taking seeds and growing Tulasi, caring for Tulasi in America. And in this way, starting all other countries also started to grow Tulasi. I think she may be the only disciple mentioned by name in the entire Srimad Bhagavat commentary. So we can understand the importance of Tulasi, the importance of Tulasi worship, caring about Tulasi. And Srila Prabhupada in this way gave all blessings to his disciple Govinda Dasi for taking up this seva. Otherwise, how to worship the deity in the Western countries, that was really a challenge. Of course, there are other challenges also. Deity worship is very depending also on two factors. One is cleanliness, the other one is punctuality. Punctuality is generally observed without too much difficulty. Sometimes, of course, cooking is late, offering is late, arti becomes little late. But generally speaking, punctuality, of course, sometimes Mongol arti. I remember that Panchadravida Swami was visiting this temple here in Hyderabad. So he came early morning, say by 4:25 in the temple, and he was just standing, chanting and waiting. So 4:26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 4:30, then the gates are supposed to open for the Mangalarti. So he was, watching his watch. 4:30, where is the Mangalarti? So immediately he called the puja. Why is it already 4:30? Now 4:31. Like that. Punctuality. So he corrected at that time the deity worship by making it very important that the time should be respected. But generally, it is being respected. But what is cleanliness? That is very important, and that is very difficult because the standard of cleanliness, we had no idea. The disciples of Srila Prabhupada at the beginning had no idea. Punctuality, that is, watch is there, no problem. But cleanliness, how much clean we should be. What is the standard of cleanliness? So I'll just give another example. When Srila Prabhupada was here, in 1976, August, at the time of opening of the temple, how Prabhupada taught us little bit about cleanliness. 76 means for 3 years, the deity worship had been going on, so we were supposed to know what is cleanliness. But apparently, according to the standard of Srila Prabhupada, we actually had no idea what is cleanliness, the standard of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada came to Mangal Arati, and Arati was going on very nicely. Everybody was happy, Prabhupada was there. And immediately when the Arati ceremony ended, immediately we saw Srila Prabhupada going into the Pujari room, which is adjacent to the deity room. We were wondering why Prabhupada is going to Pujari room, but anyway, so what Prabhupada had done at that time, the Panchadipa, which had been offered to the Lord and given to the disciples, had already gone back to the Pujari room after the Mangal Arati. It was sitting there in the Pujari room. Srila Prabhupada then went to the Pujari room immediately after Mangal Arati and took this Panchadipa and started to clean it. The Pujari were still in the deity room to put some of the paraphernalia in order and so on. And so one Pujari came inside the Pujari room and saw Srila Prabhupada cleaning the Panchadipa. Oh, Prabhupada! Prabhupada, no, Prabhupada, one devotee will do this. Well, Prabhupada, no, don't. One devotee will do this. Prabhupada said, devotee? Am I not a devotee? So if a devotee can do that, why not me? Prabhupada said like that, am I not a devotee? So that was a very great lesson, that what is the meaning of cleanliness? We understand cleanliness after cooking is over, after 1 hour, 2 hours. I was in Paris for some time. I saw the kitchen is clean, they are cleaning the kitchen in the night at 9 o'clock. Cooking has been going on all day long. In the night, they are cooking all the utensils and everything, the whole kitchen. And here, they are cleaning Panchadipa. Sometimes, after half an hour, 1 hour, after the Arati ceremony, somebody will take Panchadipa and clean there. But that is not the standard of cleanliness of Srila Prabhupada. That we had no idea. And even now, also, we are not following it because we are thinking that anyway it's going to be clean in course of time. Why should it take so much trouble and clean it immediately? When Prabhupada was cooking, he was cleaning the utensils during the cooking, not even after cooking. Prabhupada is cooking different preparations, using different utensils for cooking different dishes. And when one preparation is over, then that utensil becomes empty, and the cooking is still going on for other preparation. At that time also, Prabhupada takes time to clean the utensil. Not at the end of everything is over. That is Prabhupada's standard. Who is following this nowadays? I don't think many disciples are doing like that. But that is the standard that Srila Prabhupada has given us, cleanliness, punctuality. So the water should be clean. Here, everything should be pure. 9:17. So, all right. So everything should be done with purity, not just physical purity, purity of mind. Just like Achyutananda Swami last time I was mentioning, that speaking to a large audience, public meeting, Achyutananda Swami was telling the audience, I know that every one of you is taking bath in the morning. I have no doubt about that. You are all cleaning your body every morning, for the first thing in the early morning. Yes, very good. But what about cleaning your mind? Who is doing that? Cleaning the body is one thing. Cleaning the mind is more important even. The mind is controlling all the activities of the body. Cleaning the mind means to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, in this way, purity must be kept in all respects while worshipping the deities. And this is a very important item of devotional service. Hare Krishna, any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, thanks for giving an opportunity. It has been